All right, everybody, I am so excited about today's video. Anyway, just bear with me, and I'm going to go as quick as I can to make this useful for the lay person that's stressed for time, stressed for money, whatever the case is, in space or whatever. So let's get to it. You know, we are getting ready to prepare for germination of tomatoes. All right, and so I have my seeds or whatever, and then right here I have... This is not dirt, y'all. Well, I guess it's dirt in a sense. Anyway, it's dehydrated banana peels, eggshell, and other vegetables, dehydrated or whatever. I'm going to add to my soil. And this is potting soil or whatever. It looks like garden soil. Anyway, I've been successfully germinating in dirt from the ground, outside soil, which is outside soil. Anyway, from garden soil, I've germinated from compost, I've germinated from all of that. Anyway, you do want to start germinating 4 to 6 to 8 weeks before it's time for them to be planted outside before the last frost. So, hey, let's get busy. As you can see, I've already cut up some tomatoes previously, and I have placed the seeds up in here. Right here. And so I am going to use these. These are store-bought, and they're not organic. And by the way, it's nothing wrong with organic. Organic, it probably is the best choice, but I've had great success with what I've used. Now you see the types of tomatoes that I'm planting. First time planting yellow pear, and then I have some red cherry tomatoes, big boy hybrid, and then the beefsteak tomatoes. And also, I've already collected my seeds out of one of my Roma tomatoes, okay? So with that being said, I have my aspirin right here, and I will explain that if you bear with me. And if you're wondering what type of tomato that was that I also cut up, it is tomatoes that I got from, I think this was from Aldi, greenhouse grown or whatever, Sunset. And as you can see, that it's non-GMO, all right? So anyway, just wanted to clear that up. We're getting ready to get into depth with containers. Now, I know I said I'm going to get to the containers, but before I do that, this is some expert garden, expert potting soil. And I'm going to take some of my dehydrated organic fruit peels and all of that stuff and mix in with it, even though it says that it feeds the plants up to 6 months. I'm just going to do this because I want a little more calcium and potassium in with my seeds. All right, I really like shorts, but this is going to bleed into a video, and I'm going to keep it as short as possible, okay? Right here, I have some aspirin, and I found this since I'm planting or germinating tomatoes or whatever. I crushed them up into a powder or what have you, and what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to dissolve it in this water when I get ready to at the end or whatever. But as far as the containers are concerned, take a look. I have it dated and the type of tomato seed it is. And like I told you, you don't have to buy all of these fancy devices, pots, or whatever the case is. You can use stuff that you already have. And again, label it. And I'm going to poke holes right there, right there, right there. I have to find my ice pick so I can heat it up and then put a hole in there. But anyway, let me just show you really fast all I do. Some people do the bottom or whatever. That's a preference. So I've done the holes in there. And this is all I'm doing right here for drainage, because you can mess up and not have any holes in your container if you want to. You're going to have rotten roots or what have you. So make sure that you do that. I'm not going to bore you to death. I use everything I can, right? And even this egg carton, like I said, free stuff. They're charging us too much for this old raggedy food. But anyway, I'm going to get some kind of money's worth out of the containers or whatever. And so this is all I'm doing right here. And then I'm going to place the soil in there. And like I said, you don't have to buy all this fancy stuff. I just do what it do. My seedlings have germinated regardless of whatever. And what doesn't work, hey, I learn from it. Make it fun, not stressful. So hold on just a second, okay? Now, I am the queen of bootleg. We're going to make it happen, right? So you can see this right here. I'm getting ready to add a cover of plastic wrap, tape it on there for a little greenhouse effect, if you will. Okay, well, all right. Now, this is where we are right here. I used this egg carton. I got some plastic wrap taped it. It doesn't have to be clear tape or whatever. And remember, I have the hole in the bottom for drainage. And if need be, I'll put an extra hole in it. All right. So I'm getting ready to show you. Let's see what kind of seeds I want to grow in here. I mean, yeah, I think, and then I'll label it. This comes from the tomatoes that I cut up or whatever that are non-GMO. I'm gonna do what I want to do. These are vine seeds or seeds from the vine tomatoes that are non-GMO, okay? And I'm putting two, there's no science to this or whatever. And whichever one, if both of them germinates or whatever, I'll just cut off the weakest one or what have you, doing a little spacing apart. And so, yeah, I'll do that. And then I will do the other half, the red cherry tomatoes, seeds or what have you. And like I said, I'm going to label. And I just want to show you how that is done. And I have the cherry tomato seeds or whatever. And I'm going to do the same, right? You see that? Yep. Too close for my taste. But I don't really stress over stuff like that. All right, so. Okay, and I'm getting ready to show you what I do to cover them. I'm going to lightly cover them, not too deep and nothing too compact or whatever. All right. And this is all I'm doing. All right, I did put a little more of my dehydrated like banana peels that were ground up on them. And this is my aspirin water. This is the only time I'm going to use this. Okay. And it doesn't take a lot for this because it's in such a small space. And you may want to ask, you may be wondering rather, like what happens when it starts to emerge and it needs more space. I'm going to simply take it out and put it into a bigger container. All I'm doing is germinating and creating, establishing a root system. And you just move it to a bigger container, put some more soil in the bottom, and then voila. No harm. I experiment a lot or what have you. I'm going to put a little more or whatever to saturate these seeds, especially the ones that are dry. Yeah. That I got from the Dollar Tree. Works for me. Anyway, now just closing this down right here. And for some reason, I just wanted to leave that. And I'm going to take this down and yeah. hopefully, prayerfully, this will germinate to make 12 tomato plants. I'll move it to a bigger container, maybe like this next, and then maybe to a container like this next. I'm going to grow some in these containers, by the way. I use everything, water bottles, milk jugs, whatever, these containers or whatever. You use what you have. Don't be pressured by what you see on the internet. Nothing has to be all fancy. There's nothing wrong with a little bootleg. All right. And this is ready to go inside of the window sill right here. All right. You do not have to put any kind of dehydrated anything on these. If it's meant for them to dehydrate, they're going to dehydrate. I've had them to dehydrate without all of that or whatever. This is going to help like create like a humidity factor or whatever to retain the water so the seeds won't dry out, because sometimes I will forget about stuff. So anyway, all right. And so I want to show you this type of egg container. You put holes in the bottom of it, 1 or 2, whatever your desire is. I would recommend doing it on the side and not the bottom like I did the other. But I'm going to put some kind of tray or something under it so the water that runs out will still be there, whatever. Anyway, but this is, I've already planted the Roma tomatoes, and on 12726, the same way that I showed you. And when it starts to grow, germinate, and develop a root system, what I'm going to do is get them out, transfer them to a bigger container. And prayerfully, we'll have, what is this? I think 18 or something. I know that's bad that I don't know. Let me see here. Do a little multiple. 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 24. So if I can get 24 seeds germinated and a really good root system, of course I'm not going to hog all of this stuff up for myself. I want to grow it as part of ministry and then give it away to people who are really interested and want it close to me. All right, you may want to ask like how much soil, maybe a little over halfway or whatever. I'm doing about half, maybe a little over half, and to fill this or whatever, well, with the soil. Some people, and I think it's wise, they soak their seeds overnight or whatever. But I'm in no rush. I'm putting about 2 in there and made the best man win, really, to increase probability, 3 or whatever. So yeah, I think I'll do that. And then if all 3 of them germinate or whatever, I know what to do. I know to pull up the weakest one or what have you. And so this is the premise of it, and lightly cover it with some soil, right? And